A new ruling has revived 3 federal sex trafficking lawsuits against 2 Metro Atlanta hotels, cases that were previously dismissed. Atlanta News First reporter Yasmina Alston is live at the United Inn and Suites in DeKalb County. And Yasmina, advocates for survivors say this is a huge win.
A huge win because it provides clarification for future sex trafficking cases and the venues they allegedly happen at, like the DeKalb County Hotel behind me. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit revived 3 federal sex trafficking lawsuits brought by women who claim they were sex trafficked as minors at 2 Metro Atlanta hotels. The cases were previously dismissed. This recent ruling means these women presented enough evidence about the hotels for jurors to decide whether the hotel operators can be held liable under a federal anti-trafficking law.
The ruling is an important clarification of what a successful child sex trafficking claim needs to show.
David Bouchard is the lead attorney representing 2 of the women who allege they were sex trafficked at the United Inn and Suites in DeKalb County several times when they were 17 years old, and they claim the hotel staff knew about it.
And presented evidence to the court at the summary judgment stage that the hotel had an extensive history of persistent commercial sex crimes.
The third case involves a woman who says she was trafficked when she was 15 years old at the Hilltop Inn in Conley. In that case, the court said jurors could reasonably find that the hotel provided support to sex trafficking activity, for example, by allegedly moving a registered sex offender to an area where other sex offenders were placed. Bouchard says these cases will give insight into how trafficking works.
That ecosystem includes places where trafficking happens, the venue, the crime scene.
For advocates who work against sex trafficking, it's a win. Frank Russo is the director of the CPAC Foundation's Center for Combating Human Trafficking and believes this gives survivors an opportunity to share their truth.
We're really grateful that the courts, I think, have ruled in the right direction to hold everyone involved in that circle of abuse accountable.
The ball is in the defense's court, and they have some time to figure out what they want to do as the survivors prepare for trial. Live in DeKalb County, Yasmina Alston, Atlanta News First.